She stars as Jill on the show Mom, but she's also known as Jaime Pressly, and she's joining me right now. It's good you're back at work. It's nice to have Mom back on the air. And of course, it gives us all something to smile and laugh about these days. How do you enjoy being on the show?
Oh, I couldn't ask for a better job. I mean, it really is a privilege to go to work with those ladies, especially, of course, the incomparable Alice and Janny. We have incredible writing. We have incredible crew. Everybody is a part of it. It's like a really, really great family to go home to every day. And I could not wait to go back to work this season because I think, Lord knows, we were all missing each other. It was the biggest hiatus we've ever had in this, 8 years, 7 years for me because I came on in the second season. But we've all been very blessed to be able to go back to work where so many have not been able to. So couldn't be happier.
And it's such an ensemble cast now, kind of how the show is sort of transitioned to, and you guys touch on so many different, things such as alcoholism, miscarriage, which your character dealt with, and do it in such a lighthearted way.
That's that all is, because of our incredible writers. They walk this fine line every day of taking serious topic matters and finding the funny in them. Because after all, if you can't laugh at yourself and if you can't find things to, lighten the load, everything's a little too heavy, right? And that's kind of what comedies are meant to do anyway, is make you laugh and take you out of your headspace and put you in a light, funny one for a second. But what this show does is what the shows did when I was growing up, which they're not afraid to hit on a low. They're not afraid to end a show on a low note, and they're not afraid to get serious. Whether it was Maude or All in the Family or the Jeffersons or there's a plethora of shows I grew up watching. Cheers. They all talked about serious topic matters a lot of the times, and they get serious, and there was drama in them, and that's what I loved about them. That made it more real because it wasn't always about hitting the punchline, and that's what our show is. A show about a real group of women who were beautifully flawed, going through recovery and each other's support system. And in going through recovery from addiction, there's life to live. And in life, there's a lot of stuff going on that's not always pretty or funny, but they find the funny in it so that they can get through it. And that's what our writers do, though. Like, we are just lucky to be able to read their words.
That's so true, Jaime. And you're right. And as a woman, you do relate to a little bit of something from each character, so that makes a big difference. I think that's part of the success of the show with 8 seasons.
100%, but that and heart, because without heart, no show or film endears the audience. And I think that, everybody does an incredible job of, making sure there's heart, whether it's in their character they're playing or the writers writing it. That's the most important part of anything, I think, the heart.
So let's talk about this upcoming episode and your character, Jill, kind of at a rocky place in her relationship.
Yeah, she doesn't know she's necessarily at a rocky place, as rocky as it really is, until she, decides that she's going to confront Andy and tell him that she wants to take the relationship to the next level. And the reason she's doing that is because she sees Bonnie and Adam so happy now. They're kind of like empty nesters. And while they're sad to be empty nesters, they're also kind of like in this honeymoon phase again of marriage that they they didn't really get to live before, they didn't get to enjoy before. So my character Jill sees that and decides that she wants to have that too. So she confronts Andy, and it doesn't really go the way she planned.
Oh, hey, rocky spots for our relationships.
Well, that, and also I forgot. And then Bonnie, who thinks she's a guru at everything, decides that she is so good at relationships now that she will be our therapist.
Well, that should make for some funny moments for sure. By the way, I have to mention before I let you go here, I loved you as Joy in My Name is Earl. You were phenomenal.
So
that show was.
I'm sorry, go on.
Such a fun show. We watched it constantly here at our house. It was so fun.
That character was I always say Joy was my greatest release ever. And she really was. I was exhausted from her every day, but I couldn't wait to say the lines they wrote for me, the next day. And the characters in general, all of them in there were so salt of the earth. And again, beautifully flawed characters with a ton of heart. And I think, like I said before about Mom, as long as you've got heart and these beautifully flawed characters that people can actually relate to that aren't perfect, you're going to have a hit show.
Absolutely. And again, it is a hit show and it's an 8th season right here. And you can catch it Thursday nights on KPIX. You make me want to cut my hair short. It looks really cute.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it looks great. Thank you so much, Jamie. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for having me.